Hello, hello. Welcome back to Let's Talk HP Lovecraft. If you've not done so already, please subscribe to my channel and be the next to join the fold. Alright guys, so doing for you today my weekly review of a Lovecraft short story. This week's short story is The Other Gods, written in the summer of 1921 but not published until 1933 in the Fantasy Fan. This short story is about 2.5-3 pages long. In it, the narrator tells a story of a high priest called Barzai and an innkeeper's son, a son named Atal, from the city of Ulthar, which you'll remember from numerous Lovecraft stories. They go on a quest up Mount Hathig to attempt to see Earth's gods. Earth's gods once lived on many mountaintops of the world, but they've become shy of men, and as men have attempted to climb to see them, they've retreated further and further and now reside only on this last and tallest mountain. But Barzai, he dares to climb Hagathclaw when nobody else will, and he drags Atal along with him. Atal is a young boy, he is frightened, and he's sort of hanging on behind him, barely keeping up with the old man who seems spry and eager to meet the gods. On the way up, he begins to hear the gods sort of singing through the mist and through the clouds, and for some reason or another, he decides to declare himself greater than they are. And we're not seeing this. We're seeing it through Atal's eye, and all he can see is the mist and the light and the darkness. But we hear Barzai's voice coming down from above. And finally, we presume that he sees them, but then he sees something he did not expect. There's suddenly a lunar eclipse that was not scheduled in the charts, in the calendars, and he finds that Earth's gods are not alone at the top of the mountain. They're actually there being overseen by their overlords, the other gods who come from the unknown cosmos, from other dimensions. You know, this is pure Lovecraft here. This is a case where Earth's gods are apparently puny, and yet there is a colder, darker force out beyond. But the eclipse passes. Barzai is never seen again, but Atal lives to run away and become the high priest himself eventually. So that is the short story. It is not really much to it, but there's a lot of resonating things going on. In particular, tons of connections to other Lovecraft works, including his Dreamlands, and also to stories like Polaris, which seem to be in like a prehistory, a fictional prehistory of Earth. But I'm going to let you explore those connections, because that is actually half the fun of this story. But the story itself is a classic tale of a man, or in our own, in the Bible, it's an angel, but it's an idea of a lesser being deciding that they are worthy and good enough and greater than others and greater than their God, and then taking it upon themselves to challenge those gods. But in this case, it has this great Lovecraftian twist, which is that it's not just Earth's gods, not these benevolent gods, but actually somebody darker and scarier coming out of the, presumably the Cthulhu Mythos. No specific god names are given here, but you can imagine Cthulhu or Azathoth, or one of the many other gods of the Tolkien, or not Tolkien, sorry, of the Lovecraft universe, being up there on the mountain and really looking on Earth and on humanity with not even disdain, but a lack of interest, because we are but puny insects to them. And that is really at the heart of Lovecraft and so much of his work, this idea that there are forces greater than us, and we are so low down the totem pole of beings that we don't even register in their thoughts. We are flies, we are ants, and it's not like they even think about crushing us. They just, you just do it. you crush them like we crush ants. And it's a great type of story because in just a few short pages, it makes you feel absolutely insignificant. And I sort of love those feelings from my art. I love when I get that vibe out of a particularly disturbing piece of like underground heavy metal music or a particularly bleak movie. And in the case of Lovecraft, he's the guy I go to when I want to feel my true place in this universe, which is very, very, very tiny. All right, guys, that is my review of The Other Gods by HP Lovecraft. I've been averaging about one HP Lovecraft short story review each week. I'm slowly working my way through the complete fiction of HP Lovecraft, and many, many more stories to go, but my first, I want to say 35 reviews are already up here on my channel in the Let's Talk HP Lovecraft playlist, so be sure to check them out. They've been getting some decent traffic, I noticed recently, so I'm glad that some of you are checking them out. And just before we go, I want to remind you once again, please subscribe. So until next week, keep it creepy.